Welcome all to Let's Get It, where we attack today's local or national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Get It. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, along with my co-host and producer, Jason Bryce, and always co-host, Coach Marcus Bullock, coming to you on a snowy Super Bowl Sunday morning, afternoon at this point, actually. But we have a great show on tap for you guys. We have there to be joining shortly Albert Young, former NFL football player, Iowa Hawkeye legend, and South Jersey legend, joining us on the show. We're also going to be getting into the Sixers' big trade. We're going to be getting into the Super Bowl itself. But as always, before we get into our guest, I'm check in with everyone. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, man. The snow doesn't bother me because I don't feel like it's that cold. So I'm okay with the snow because it's not like 10 degrees outside. But, we talked last week about decisions. You have to make a decision. Yes. I had to make a decision this morning. I was coaching my Kelman school basketball team. And I felt like the other coach was trying to embarrass my kids. Oh. So I had to make a decision if I was going to keep my job or not keep my job. Oh. I still have a job, but I had to make a decision this morning.
So if it got out of hand,
not even out. We lost by 14 points.
Oh, it's
not bad.
Yeah, it's
not bad at all. But just the way, so he decided that because his team was better than my team, he only needed 3 people to play defense and put the other 2 down on the other end and just would rebound the ball and just throw it down.
Oh, that's not right. It's not right.
Oh, I don't like that.
Nobody liked that.
I didn't like that.
So I had to make it, and I just, and you see me, I don't get involved with the other coaches. I don't get involved in that. But he knew I was upset, so then he came up to me after the game.
Oh, hey, man.
I'm like, and just kind of like, I'm like, what? Like, what? He's like, is something wrong? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
So, but I still have a job, thankfully.
Yeah, man.
So.
But I just think it's poor taste for those kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what grade is this?
So that's the thing. His team is 7th and 8th grade. My team was anywhere from 5th through 8th grade.
Oh, come on.
So 4th through 8th grade, and the majority of them are 4th and 5th grade.
Oh, come on. Like, see, you know what? There's a balance, and I was having this conversation with somebody last night, actually, yesterday, because there was a little incident on my end with my daughter, and I was saying that, you have to balance competitiveness, winning, versus also nurturing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, nurturing is the main thing, especially now when you're in high school, you're varsity, that's something different. But when we're talking about 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, the nurturing has to be in there. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I've noticed that that the nurturing is to the backseat, and it's all about competitiveness, which I'm not saying I'm opposed to as far as having an ingredient of competition, but the nurturing must be present. You know what I'm saying? And that right there.
Completely agree. And my response to him was, listen, you can beat me by 100 points. Just beat me the right way.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, respectful.
Right.
That's it.
Because now you're clowning me.
Yes.
Right.
Just beat me. You can beat me however you want. Just do it the right way.
Right. Now you're clowning me. I don't like that.
Well, with that said, we have our guest here waiting to come on. We're going to bring on Al in just a second here. Albert Young joining us. Mm-hmm. And I want to get his opinion on this also, as he, as a coach, is a trainer and works with a lot of young kids. Kind of get that point too.
Okay. Oh, you didn't want to get how I'm doing first. Oh, okay.
No, that's okay. Well, let's get Al on here.
Okay, we'll get him on.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, I thought he was going to ask me like, so Jay, how are you?
Oh man,
but no, that didn't happen. So just
Jay, how are you?
I appreciate you.
Oh man,
thank you so much. I am. You know what? I'm doing okay.
Jay,
I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing really good though. No, thank you for asking. I'm doing really well. Let's get him on though. So hold on, let me just get it right. 1 second. And yes, we got him on.
Al, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Well, listen, we're a big pleasure to have you on today.
Absolutely.
Taking some time out in the day. For those who were watching, once again, this is Albert Young. Albert was a former NFL football player with the Minnesota Vikings, was out with the Iowa Hawkeyes, and big time in the South Jersey area. Al, there's a couple of things too I want to get into also is I know now your big thing is you're still coaching Wilkes University, correct? And then you have your own, it's the Running Back University, which is your training program, correct?
Yes.
So obviously, a little bit, tell us about just kind of your path as a player and then getting into the coaching and training aspect of things.
Well, as a player, I really took into sports, I would say in the third grade. That's when I set that goal of reaching the NFL, and overheard you guys talking about training and how to approach kids and all that. To hit on that, I would just say, you treat each kid differently.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of know at an early age, and especially being able to see a lot of kids now, I kind of get a good feel of who's going to be the prospects down the road. So you would approach them differently than someone who might, everyone needs the nurturing, but you can, give those guys a little extra because, they can handle it. But growing up in South Jersey, I played all sports: baseball, basketball, football, wrestling, competed in Olympic lifting. Just everything took off, and ended up in the league after going to Iowa.
No, go ahead. So now when you were at Iowa, you had Coach Kirk Ferentz. I know that your big season was the freshman year, 2004. I know that's when you guys finished, was 8th in the country. Correct?
My big season would have been my redshirt sophomore year.
Okay.
My first year, I broke my fibula, and during a scrimmage, and then my next year back, I tore my ACL. So I didn't get on the field until my third year on campus, and that first year back was when we ended up going to the Outback Bowl. We had a nice team. You're referring to the season before. That was the year we had 5 running backs go down with ACLs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
Oh man. So as far as just sound a little bit about that. So one of the things I wanted to ask you as a former college player and professional player, now college players, obviously are able to sign deals and sign with whatnot. What's your thoughts on that? Obviously, when you were in college, they didn't have that. What's your thoughts now on players being able to sign?
I think it's great because when we're in college, to this day, Iowa still has number 21 jerseys being sold, and you always wonder who was getting the money, who was getting the check for that. So I think it's fantastic that kids can utilize their name and likeness, just as long as the focus is on your preparation and training. As long as you can handle it, I think it's great because you got to remember majority of the guys aren't going to make it to the NFL. So this is their window to actually make something off their name.
Absolutely. Now, just kind of, transitioning a little over, like I said, to now your big thing now is coaching. And, kind of tell us a little about your, the team, the university you're at now and your coaching history in the past.
Well, I got into coaching when I got done playing with the Vikings. I initially took a job as a quality control, offensive, and special team assistant at the University of Colorado. Eric Bieniemy brought me on there.
Albert, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I hear that the quality control. I hear that a lot. What does that mean?
You're a position coach.
Got it.
You're a position coach. It's just titles they come up with. Same thing. You'll see offensive analyst.
Yeah.
I actually had a buddy looking at a job at another university, and he didn't quite understand what that meant. It's a position job, and what you're doing is, let me take that back. It's not quite. You don't have your own room, but you're doing the installs. You're putting the playbooks together. You're doing the breakdowns. You're doing all the heavy work. You're out there on the field with everyone else. So,
gotcha.
Those are good jobs for guys to take.
Thank you. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So it says you had that position, and then kind of how did that transition for you?
From Colorado was in their second season. The staff got let go. So from there, I was a strength coach at the University of Pittsburgh. Same type of situation. And then after that, I got into my training business, and I got into sales, medical device sales, and this is me getting back into it. Wilkes had an opportunity, and they were looking for a running back coach, and I jumped right on it.
No, that's so this is going to be your first or second season there?
This is going into my second.
Okay, and how was the season this past year?
We started off fast. We had a young team, started out 5-6-0, hit some roadblocks in the middle of the season. I think we finished 6-4, but it was a good experience to get back into it and see where my coaching career goes from here.
So obviously, with coaching, you had to play in career. What would your path to coaching look like if it goes the way you want? What would you like ultimately to get to?
Man, the way, especially the way things are going now, what I realize is you can't press it or force it. The right situation at the right time is going to come to you. What I'm doing now is ideally is to get back to the NFL level in some capacity. If not that, be at a Division I level. But it's more about the fit with me when it comes to that. It's not necessarily the status of the school, because I just enjoy coaching, and it just want to be at an organization where football is important. My goal was to play in the NFL, so I'm not really looking forward to jumping from school to school to school to move up. More looking for a home, permanent home where you're comfortable and you can just dive deep into it.
Absolutely. Now, I was going to ask you, going back a little bit to your NFL career. I see the photo in the background there, with the Vikings. Obviously, now it was Brett Favre handing off the football there.
Yep.
So
that was a preseason game, I think.
What? Just kind of give us some of your biggest moments, those you shared the field with, and probably the toughest player that, as a running back, who's the toughest defender? You're like, I don't want to get near him.
Oh man, there's so many. And like professionally?
Yeah, professionally, we're in the college rank.
I mean, there's no one you're really like, I don't want to get near them. But there's guys, for instance, Pat Willis.
Ooh.
That was one of the first times you hear NFL teams use the term blue chip, because we scout players in the NFL the same way. Now, if you're a blue chip prospect in the NFL, you're different.
Wow.
That dude ran like a deer, and just going into it, we knew coach said, hey, if you're not on your game, he will hawk you down. And he played on. So Pat Willis comes to mind. At Iowa, guys like Bob Sanders. Those guys had a different level, and it's just I was fortunate enough to play with so many good players over the time, man. It's hard to pick out one. There were so many special players between those two teams.
Yeah, I mean, in the NFL, and it's funny, because you probably sit here as, now a fan also, and you hear guys say, oh, I could have made that catch. I could have done this, like the lane guy. And you just realize that, no, you couldn't. To be in the NFL, to be at that level, the 54th guy on the roster is nasty. Isn't this true?
Yeah, everybody's a dog, man. Every single person that suits up on that field can play. That's what's funny. I mean, because everyone just sees the superstars, and everyone in that locker room can play. There's no slouches.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, you got questions?
And that's including, how you doing?
Maybe except for the kicker, long snapper. I don't know.
That means Jalen Reagor can play.
Oh,
he can play.
Okay, all right.
He can play.
Right,
yeah. Well, to the fans, it's all about expectations, right? So if you're a high draft pick, you're going to expect more. Well, at least from a fan perspective, you're going to expect more out of Jalen Reagor than Albert Young being an undrafted free agent.
Sure, I got you.
Yeah, there's still levels to it.
There's levels.
There's levels. That's why they have incentives. That's why when the free agent does well, or once we hit a certain amount of snaps, our bonus at the end of the year, our performance bonus is higher than theirs.
Yeah. I know. I just know that he's a very good football player. That's put out there.
Yeah.
Kwame's not coming after you. Don't worry.
Kwame Brown just
I know. Yeah, right. He's not having it.
Albert, tell me about your transition from Morristown to Iowa. What was the school like? What was the area like? How did you Iowa's not the city from my understanding of it. Like what was that like?
I mean, I guess the good thing is growing up in a diverse area where we're from, and especially being from Morristown, actually coming from there to Iowa, it really, I wouldn't say it was quite the same, but I was so focused in on football, you could have put me in any state. That didn't matter. But there were guys that were culture shocked that that's where you're going. Like, it's a big adjustment. I was fortunate enough to be around diverse crowds here in South Jersey. So a lot of us Jersey guys really, for the most part, transition fine.
Right. And get into the running back university thing with your training and kind of how that works, and how do you target? Are there certain people you target to try to work with, or just kind of dive into that a little bit?
Yeah. So that just comes down. I had to put a stamp on it. I am doing running back training. The way I go about it is I don't necessarily go target kids. I always, live by the philosophy, talent's going to find talent. So when if there's a running back that wants the complete package, whether it's film breakdown, pass protection, pass game, probably the last thing we're concerned about is the actual physically running, because you should be able to run as a running back. So the kids more kind of find me. But I accept everyone on the sports performance side. I train all ages, and whether it's boys or girls, but just complete running back program, and all kids are welcome. But I just kind of let that grow organically.
Absolutely. I know you just said about letting it grow organically. How would they get into it if they were interested in, taking part of that or doing training?
Well, they could reach out to me on any of my social platforms. Just look me up, and guys will shoot a DM, and we'll set up a time, and just simple as that. I'm easy to reach.
Absolutely. Jay, what you got for Albert?
Actually, Marcus, coach took my question. I wanted to really know about that running back. Is that something that happens like kind of in the area, or that's kind of congruent to where you're at in regards to Wilkes?
Well, I'm back in Cherry Hill, but the training takes place in Cherry Hill. That's in New Jersey. I don't have anything going on out there.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's South Jersey, and I'm going to expand up to North Jersey here soon. Got some things coming.
Got you.
I'm going to work with some guys up there and get some things going. So, or I'll come to people as well. I've done house calls. As long as someone shows they're committed,
right.
I'm committed. That's really the main thing with the training business.
I know.
You want to find consistent people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just know, that we've. I'm a guidance counselor. I work at Penns Grove High School, and we've had some outstanding running backs that that they just they have some immense talent, especially Nasir Robinson, and he's going to Peace. So you familiar with that name or?
Yeah. Nasir, didn't he just go to he went to a prep school, correct?
He went to prep school.
Yeah. I spoke with him a few times before he went up there. Good kid.
Yeah, great kid. So but yeah, so I had a question about that, and I had a question in regards to the coaching, and I definitely commend you just by saying that. Hey, listen, you and how I kind of took it, and what you said is you're just going to allow your coaching opportunities to kind of present themselves, and if the right fit exists, then you're willing to take that. So, but being that you're going into a profession, so you had a goal when you were in South Jersey of reaching the NFL, right? So I'm not sure if you have that same goal as it relates to coaching, but if you do, how do you feel knowing that playing field is not large, so to speak, with all the recent things like with Brian Flores and stuff like that? Like, how do you kind of feel? Like, does that change the drive a little bit, or does it motivate you even more?
That's a good question, because I know a lot of, you're getting with the minority coaches and all that, and a lot of my buddies, it gets discouraging at times. but it's just more. It plays more into the you know, the right situation is going to come at the right time for each individual. Meaning, not necessarily like that's why I say keep chasing it. Yes, you do have to have a network. I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of coaches at the NFL and college level. So, so my approach is going to be different than most guys when it comes to that. Meaning, I'm not just applying for every little old thing I see. But that's a real thing. I mean, simple as that, and just especially when you have guys that are former players, you know, like EB. Everyone forgets that he actually played 8 years in the league.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, I mean, at times that gets discouraging, but all you can do is just keep chopping wood, and your time will come. And if not, get another talent. That's why I have the training, and that's why you have to have a degree. You know, you can't get caught. Yeah, you get caught up in this football box. So at some point, you know, you'll know when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because I was saying shout out. I think last week I said shout out to Brian Flores for stepping up and you know, and bringing light and shedding light on a you know, an issue that's, you know, congruent to NFL, but really on a national scale, if we're talking about, you know, the root of it, right? But then I was like, yo, shout out to those that can't really say much because they got to feed their family, and that's righteous too, right? But now I want to actually expand that. What you said, Al, is shout out to all those coaches that's still pursuing in spite of knowing that the playground is small.
Oh,
you know what
man.
I'm saying? Like it almost needs to be like is it an expose or maybe a documentary or some type of show or something for all the up and coming coaches, not on the Hugh Jackson level or, you know, that's a known name brand, but how about those ones coming up that aspire to be that, and we still got to persevere that dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you. Like much respect for that. Much respect for that, because it's almost like going into the Lions den knowing that, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, there's fire that you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get bit. But I'm still going anyway. It's perseverance in that, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely. Coach, what you got for Al?
Al, what is it like to be an NFL football player?
Wow.
Just what is it? What, you know, I mean, forget the football. Like, what is it like just living that everyday life?
Man, you know what? Now that I'm older, it goes back. You really don't, when you're in it, at least as a undrafted free agent, I don't think I actually realized where I was at, because I was so focused and driven. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And this is the lifestyle I'm supposed to have. But yeah, it freaks you out a little when you get your first game check. You like, man, I'm getting paid big money now to play the game I love. So that's it. Just it expands. It opens you up to a whole nother world playing in the NFL. It's a business. You learn that the game that you grew up loving, it is now a business. Waking up every day, I knew, hey, I can't drop the ball. You know, you might be on your way out. So it's a high stakes, high pressure situation. But it was just awesome though. It was a dream come true to, you know, watch Sunday NFL Countdown and like, all right, my team is up next. We're gonna be, you know, walking through the tunnel here soon. So it was definitely, it's humbling, and it's a fantastic experience, man.
Let me ask you, Albert. You know, you had, I know you mentioned that third grade. That is that when you made the decision, or because I often think that there has to be a moment where you say, you know what, I want to either be good or I want to be great. Right?
It was third grade for me. Yep.
Okay.
I was on the playground. Yeah.
Okay. So then, all right. So what tell me about that again, if you had already? I apologize. But also, what did that mean? Like what changed then? What came after that? Like, so maybe you wasn't, was you running? Maybe you wasn't running the same. Like, what was the difference in your approach to the game? There go the question.
I think once you there's always that one play that you make that kickstart your career, at least for mine.
Sure.
And I remember playing at Riverside as an 80-pounder. It took me 3 games to score my first touchdown in youth football. But once I got that first one, then it just became easy. It was a confidence thing, and then you realize you physically have the more ability than your peers, and you kind of know. That's why I always say when kids say D1 or buzz this or that, the kids that are D1, they know. Or you internally, it's an internal thing. And I was, 3rd grade at that time. That's when I said the NFL is going to be my goal, because, that's also how I was going to go to college though too.
Right, I got you.
So, it wasn't. I wouldn't say I sure wasn't playing for the fun of it. There was a goal. And it was like that since the 3rd grade. And,
wow.
Anytime guys would be playing around, even as youth, if we weren't getting work in, I'd rather just go work out, train by myself. So it's a mentality thing, and, really having confidence in yourself. And that's all you got really to go to college. The decision was easy. I knew I wasn't going to be tall enough for basketball. Baseball, that was another option, but football was my love. Yeah.
So to piggyback off that, what were some of the, we deal with a lot of high school coaches, players, that kind of thing. What were some of the sacrifices that you've made, especially in high school, to get to that? Because there's you played at Iowa, like there even in that there's levels. Like you don't get much better at football than Iowa. Sure. Even at the Division I level. So what were some of the sacrifices that you've made, and that you try to teach your clients at Running Back University that these are the things that you need to do to stay focused and really try to get to whatever your next level is?
Really just just really taking training the heart and make it. And I made that my number one priority when I was young. I enjoyed the weight room. I enjoyed working out. Like I mentioned, I competed in Olympic lifting and was fortunate to now looking, since my trainers didn't have social media back in the day, I had some really good trainers actually. I just lived in the gym, man. That's it. And, when guys are out partying in high school, I ain't drinking in high school, but it was like everybody knew, like it takes a village. I had my boys that shielded me, so it was a community thing, and going to study hall in high school when nobody else was, because I knew grades I needed to get the right GPA. I had Coach Frank Paris, who was a fantastic, legendary high school coach in our area. Coach Paris was picking me up at 7, 8 o'clock at night to take me back to the school to get tutoring, things like that. And taking academics seriously and getting everybody on board with it. My teachers that was a great thing about Morristown. In 8th grade, I sat down in a meeting with the principal of the high school, my guidance counselor. They broke down the NCAA rules and everything to me before I even got into high school. That's when I knew I had the support of the town, because I'm a young kid set, and I'm like, I'm meeting with these important people. They must think I have a future, and I use those resources as much as I could.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's something you see now, and Jay, you can attest to it being in the high school. Coach, you can attest to it. Is that the young stars? They get so pushed on the field, and that the bigger focus a lot of times is lost.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. I tell you personally, my thing was the grades, because And not even necessarily grade, just more of you using the resources you have to get where you want to GPA wise, because the athletic thing was there. That was the least of the worries, was playing actual football. I was scared to death of not being eligible, and that's what forced me to get that 2.830. You know, and that was fine. I was scared to fail in school. That's what kept me on top of that.
And that's still the mentality that gets misconstrued so many times with star athletes is, you know, be focused, on the field, but also in the classroom. Because if one is not there, you can't be on the other.
No, and
No, you can't.
yeah, if I can add to that, I'm wondering I think eligibility nowadays. I was just talking this conversation with somebody because I know in New York, like, you know, growing up there, like you had to be eligible after each quarter. Okay. At each quarter, where in Jersey, you're eligible from the previous year.
Right.
So essentially, you could fail all year and still play, but you better go to summer school or you're going to have a problem. If you ain't get that 30 credits, you're going to have a problem. So, but I think that's just great. Like, I think those tips of, you know, you sharing the importance of grades. Now, did you, and please forgive me if you covered it already, did you stay all 4 years at Iowa? And if you did, what is your degree in? And
I was there for 4. Well, I redshirted since I had the injury, so I was there. Yeah, I stayed the entire time. So 4.5 years. I have a degree in health and sports studies, and, minored in African American studies. But the best thing that could happen was to get that degree, man. And I tell these kids, well, the easy thing is this with these kids and you guys as coaches, they're schools now. If you don't have at least a 2.5 in high school, you're not going to get recruited. I can't recruit you. So that should be enough for these kids to be motivated. But then if you don't have that, though, now you got to get to know the kid, though, because just because a kid doesn't have that GPA doesn't mean he's not capable of doing better.
Right.
You know, so that's just a baseline, and at least in my opinion, because every kid doesn't have the resources. A kid could be smart, but his school might not have tutors or things like that. So that's a job of the coaches to be like, hey, this kid might be a 2.2, but he's a quality kid. Once he gets these resources, he's going to be fine. That's where it goes into kids being a good person. You know, if you're not going to have good grades, you better be a good person.
So you can't have bad grades and be a jerk.
You can't. Yeah, you know,
So I wanted to ask you, Al, also, and I know you talked about some of the trainers that you had and whatnot. But aside from that, even like in the closer level, who was your motivator? Who was your biggest supporter growing up?
So many, man. I'm gonna forget someone. I trained at Delago's gym in Morristown. Joe Delago, he was a mentor of mine in Morristown. He had a gym. He has an Olympic lifting background, and those were the guys that trained me growing up. And being so young, not realizing it, working out with USA Gold. These guys wrote those books that everybody's getting certifications on. So I was honored to train with them growing up, and also Mike Ricketts from Morristown was a mentor of mine, took me under his wing, and always, you know, these were successful men, and they allowed me to live out my dream. Whether if I was going to go to a Nike camp, they taught me great lessons in life. Don't get it confused though. They came out their pocket though, you know, to make sure I was going to have every chance to live out my dream, whether it was getting me rides, transportation to go to Penn State for the Nike camp. So those two were pivotal. And obviously my mother, just watching her be a single mom, Section 8 housing in Morristown, and she was my inspiration. And I appreciate her even more to this day, because now seeing how difficult that had been for her, and her allowing other quality people in my life to take me to the next level, and kind of, you know, family, you know, your family kind of knows when you're on that path to go, and sometimes you got to let that guy go, and let everybody else get in on it. To what we say, it takes a village, right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Let me ask, Albert, do you do any So I'm sitting here, I'm pondering. I'm always pondering, and things is kind of getting revealed to me. But let me ask you: do you do any speaking engagements towards kids, with kids in schools or anything like that? Just because I'm hearing in your voice the passion and some of the great advice that the kids need to hear is about them grades, because you know they spend their whole time. And I get it. I'm not saying I don't get it, right? Because you're training, you're trying to do this, do that. And you're just a kid, and then you're tired. And when it comes down for schoolwork, it's almost like that secondary. So I get it. I get it where they can get it confused. But I'm just curious: do you do any type of speaking or motivational speaking or anything of that sort? Because you know what you're saying is very powerful.
No, I've done it before. I'm trying to get out more and you know, when people ask and do that, but I'm always willing to speak to someone and give them advice.
Okay.
These kids have so many resources now, and you know, there's good and bad on social media. I'll tell you this: I was actually kind of surprised in a good way, because I thought at least a lot of the kids I've been coming across actually done pretty well in the classroom. There aren't many kids in our area I've been recruiting, no matter the school, that where grades are just that terrible. So that's kudos. You know, obviously I'm wrong, because there's kids out there that, at least the kids I've been interacting with, and you know, these kids that are training with other trainers and have other coaches, every time I reach out to them recruiting wise and I ask them, how are your academics? That hasn't been as big of an issue as I thought it would be, or what I was expecting. You know, you might be like, oh, I know some other people that are doing not so well, but at least this area. Oh, no, I agree. No, but no, that was just giving respect to the mentors that are out there now. I think there's actually more kids that actually do have that awareness. They're just afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, I just think that the overall level to mastery or accomplish a grade, the pathway's a little easier nowadays. So if I want to get an A, it's a little easier for me to get an A now, maybe than back in your day versus back in our day. So then that can maybe call into question of, even though you're getting a grade, do you understand the mastery of the content a little bit? You know what I'm saying? So then when you go to college, now you might be struggling because you have this picture of what it says, but you know, real life wise, you may not be on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I kind of was looking at it from that angle or whatever. But no, that's great stuff though. I just think that I think that's always a constant conversation, because their kids don't really understand how that NCAA clearinghouse works. You got like a real fast tutorage in it in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? So most kids, they may not start understanding it until like 11th grade, where they're starting to get recruited. Right. And now it's like, oh man, my 9th and 10th grade, I gotta try to do something about it now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like killing you. So I think having that conversation in that 8th grade is vital, man. Vital.
Yeah, having it in 8th grade, but also staying on top, because don't get it twisted. I needed to ratchet up in 11th grade though. That's the thing with kids though. Like I knew what it was about, but you still need somebody on you, because junior year I had to have that conversation with all my teachers, and that's the main thing. Just talk to your teachers too.
Right.
Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I did. I said I need a B in everything. What will it take for me to do that? That's where me going to tutors at 7, 8 o'clock at night during the week, going back to school, came in. Your teacher will give you extra credit. They'll give you extra work if you're on top of it, but you can't just sit there. You got to show interest. They want to see you succeed. So I earned those grades, but I worked for it. The only teacher that, for whatever reason, of course, he went to Penn State. So now that was the 1 C I got. But besides for that, everything was good. But you have to go out and reach them. You can't just, you got to show them you want it.
It's funny you mentioned that, Al, because I'm actually a big Michigan fan. So So, Coach, what do you got for Al?
So speaking of, you talked about what other schools were recruiting you? What did it come down to? Why did you choose Iowa? What else was involved?
Okay. I originally committed to Wisconsin. I visited Boston College. Miami came in later. They wanted me to play DB. So I had majority of the. So I had. It's easier. I had all the Big Ten except for Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. And yeah, Penn State kind of rubbed me off wrong because I was ready to commit to them and aim and respond back. But I originally committed to Wisconsin. Also had Colorado and Oregon out west. What made me go to Iowa over Wisconsin was we had so many guys from our area going. If you remember, we had James Townsend at Holy Cross. We took a visit together. We had Khalid Price from my area. McQuan Dawkins from Bridgeton was already there. Miguel Merrick from Union City was already there. So when I went on my visit to Iowa, I actually felt at home because there were so many guys around the way. And we had Coach Darrell Wilson, who's still in the coaching game. He's who really won me over, and the opportunity to really get in early at Iowa. Not like you're really like too concerned with competition, but Wisconsin had like 7 backs, something like that. Iowa had, like half of that, so it was pretty easy, and it was one of the best decisions I made.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you, I know I saw earlier you posted about the Super Bowl today, and what's your thoughts on the game today?
This is tough. This is a true toss-up, man.
It really is.
It really is. It's evenly matched. Only thing, I would take the Rams because they're home, and that's about probably the only reason. I think it's either going to be tight or it's going to be interesting because I don't want to sleep on these young boys, Joe Burrow and Chase doing their thing. Chase is going to have old boy shadow on him, so it's going to be more of the Jalen Ramsey's going to shadow him the whole game probably for the most part. So it's more about him making the right play at the right time, which he's capable of. And it's going to be an interesting game, man. Yeah.
Do you have any connections or anyone on either squads that are involved in the game today?
Who I got the Rams, Bengals, and no one that pops the. Mike Daniels. I hosted him to come to Iowa. He's from South Jersey.
Okay.
He Big Mike. He's playing today.
Let's go.
And there's a few other Iowa guys in the game. Yeah.
All right. Well, how about you, Coach? Only up for Al.
I have 2 more questions. I'll save my last one to the end. I wanted to get in when we were talking about the recruiting and the recruiting that you're doing now. How does that process start? Like, how do you guys identify what kids you're going to look at, and then kind of just take me through the process of how you narrow it down and to who you really want, and just take me through that process.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so to kind of answer in a broad way, since Wilkes, the D3 level, they more of go. They're working on the current class at the current time. Like we're still finishing out the seniors for this year because everybody else already. So it goes in cycles. So if you're looking at with the early signing period, yes, you're going to get those juniors getting offers now, things of that nature. But when I'm looking at a kid, he'll reach out to me. Let's say, we're recruiting his class. We'll check out his film. I'll give him a grade. We had, I'll give him a grade. I'll put him on our offer board, and our head coach will go through, and then it's just coach will look at it. We'll talk about him a little, and coach will sign off, and then we'll start to recruit the kids. So it really works that simple. Kids reach out to us with social media and on Twitter and things of that nature. So I look at everyone, check their film out, put a grade on them, get to know the kid, and then we attack it. And then it kind of works like that at the other levels. We're more broad because we accept bigger classes than your D1 level,
Got it. What you got, Jay?
I don't really have anything else other than how did you like playing with Brett Favre?
It was dope playing with Brett, man, because you grew up watching him play, and then
Right.
it was fun playing with him.
It's good. It's good. I look like that year that so how long was he on? He was in the Vikings, what, 2 years, right? Or 3 years, something like that?
It was two. Yeah.
Yes, and then he came to New York, stuff like that. Now, who do you root for now? Besides, I'm sure you root for the Vikings, but who's your NFL team?
You more root for your buddies that are coaching on teams. So I root for. I don't necessarily root. I like to see it when the Chiefs do well.
Okay.
Because of my guy EB, the offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy.
Okay.
And then whatever team your buddies are coaching on, you root for them. Yeah.
You grew up an Eagles fan, right? Or no?
You know what? I grew up a Marshall Faulk fan.
Okay.
So whatever team he was on, I was always that guy that got a kick out of watching everybody mad at school the next day when the Eagles lost.
I got you.
Yeah.
Did you ever you rooted for the Giants and the Jets too, right? Or no?
Well, I like the Giants. That was the team I actually wanted to play for professionally, though.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the gray pants.
And plus, they're right hand jersey.
Irrelevant.
What do you mean it's relevant? They're right hand jersey.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's irrelevant.
They're right hand jersey.
Oh,
They
my
are in
goodness.
jersey.
So, well, listen. With that said, once again, if you guys are just tuning in, we've been with Albert Young here. He's giving us a great interview for about the last 45 minutes or so. He's joined the show. Now, Coach always has a question, so I'm going to have him post this to you right now.
So, Albert, one thing that we're always trying to do, just like bringing yourself on, we're trying to grow our show and reach out and touch different audiences. Who would be someone that you would think for us to bring on the show, similar to yourself? But with that, before you answer it, we're going to need your help in bringing that person on the show.
I can definitely help you get guys. Good one, someone in this anywhere or like with South Jersey ties. South Jersey ties.
Either way, someone you think would have a good guest, entertaining, just like yourself.
Entertaining. Oh man, you got Jyrie Evans. He's in the area. He's training kids.
That's a good one.
Future Hall of Famer for the Saints. I can get you in touch with Ja. I'm sure he'll come on. I'm trying to think. Oh, Jovan Johnson, good buddy of mine. He could drop some good knowledge for you guys as well.
This is all good stuff.
Hook that up. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex. Well, I'll definitely be in touch with you, getting those guys' information and just making the connection, and I'll go out there. Before we let you go, Jay, is there anything you want to say to Al?
Are you a Ben Simmons fan?
Nah, I haven't been following the Sixers
Oh,
for so
not
long, but no, I'm not. I knew that was going to be an issue. All you had to do was look back at, remember when they followed him around at LSU?
Okay.
Yep.
If you go way back then and look at that again, this wouldn't be a surprise. You could see that coming because he was clocked out back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Al, man, I really appreciate you taking the time this afternoon to join the show. Obviously, we really appreciate all the support you've given us on the social media platform of it. Once again, Albert Young, his big thing is check him out. What's the handle for people to check out the Running Back University on Twitter and on Instagram? You
can just type in RB_university just type in my name, Albert Young. It'll pop up in the search.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Well, listen, Al, thanks a lot, man. We appreciate it. It was very insightful, just said about yourself, about, playing on the NFL platform. Appreciate it. And I'll be in contact, as we continue to grow the show. And thanks again for joining us.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one, fellas.
Right.
You too.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right. Enjoy the game. Bye.
Thank you.
I say we definitely give it up.
Oh, absolutely. 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 I mean, it was really awesome to talk with Al. Obviously, I growing up in this area, you heard the name,
right?
With big time, with going to Iowa, being drafted. Just when you get a chance to sit and talk with someone like that and just hear the whole story and the humbleness and, talking about the people who helped him along his way and the journey and whatnot that he went through, it's it's really cool to kind of see the big picture.
Yeah, it was cool. He identified it in third grade and then never really strayed from it. Even, as he talked about in eighth grade, how he, sat down with the principal, like, this is my goal. This is what we have to do. Like that's pretty dope. You don't really see that too often.
No, you really don't. And like we were saying before, once again, like I said, if anyone was just joining us, Albert Young, former NFL player, Iowa Hawkeye, and South Jersey legend, joined us for about 40 minutes. Al really spoke about everything from his recruitment to his playing days to how he was helped along the way. And once again, can we give one more shout out there, Jay, for Albert?
Absolutely. It really was a great interview. Yeah. Great interview. Can you now ask me how I'm doing?
Yes, we can absolutely. How you doing? How are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing very well. I appreciate you asking me. It's been a busy week.
Oh man.
But I'm surviving. The snow's here, so and it's Super Bowl Sunday. So thank you so much, Randall.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, we didn't want to keep our big guest waiting this morning, so I appreciate that.
How does it go from being 60-something yesterday to snowing?
Tell me about it.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Tell me about it.
The world's coming to an end.
That shit is.
Well, it is. And I mean, it's just, yesterday was gorgeous. Absolutely. A funny little tidbit. So last night, I was talking to guys about the show when I was out. We were at Dom's Tavern trying their wings, big time. Very good. Very good.
I did see a post on it. I did see that.
Me, I love food. Either food or the podcast is pretty much my post.
And then also, I want you to, at some point in the show, tell Coach about he's got a new creative way to have a lot at Chick-fil-A. You got to hear about
absolutely.
This.
What? Yeah, it's a Chick-fil-A hack. I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that. It is.
You got to hear this.
Oh, you want me to share it now? I might as well share it now.
It's amazing.
No, you want me to share it with you now?
I'm listening.
So this was not me. I'm not the the creator of this, but I watch a lot of different
Are
videos.
you gonna get arrested if you share that?
No. This is not. This is. So if you order the kids tender or kids nugget meal, right? It's only 50 cents to upgrade to mac and cheese. It's your side order. So you can get that, get yourself some of the sauce. You can get yourself a little buffalo chicken mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A for about $5.
Yeah, that's the same look I gave him. And then I said, what I said was, I said, I'm definitely going to mention this on the show.
That's okay. So you go there and you order the kids mac and cheese, or kids tenders meal.
Yeah.
So you'll get. They say you want to upgrade to mac and cheese for 50 cents more.
That's right.
So it's I think it ends up being about $6 or something.
So you're saving money. Talk about economics.
Economics.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Economical. Economical.
I don't even have a response for that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, great stuff.
So it was funny though, because I was saying was that I was out, we're talking about the show, and guys were talking about their athletics, and things like that, and former playing days, and these two guys were out there. They're like, oh man, if I just had any, height has always been an issue for me. This one dude is 5'10", the other dude is 5'11". I look at him like, yeah, man, you guys are really struggling. You guys are really struggling.
That's funny.
Well, listen, we got another special guest going to be joining us now in just a minute to get into, I'm sure, a little bit of the Super Bowl and some other. We have Coach Joe joining us. Coach, how are you?
Hey, everybody, how you doing? Happy New Year.
You too. This is Lead Pipe Joe. And Joe,
Right.
we have had you. Joe, you're one of our first guests on the show. So we are very happy to have you back. Talk about everything from, I'm sure, into the Sixers, into the Super Bowl and everything. But before we get into anything, how are you doing this afternoon?
Hey, like Drake once said, started at the bottom, now we wound up here. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That was not what I was expecting at all. So
Well, that's what Coach Joe's known for. Yeah,
Right.
you think I'm going to zig, then I zag.
Right.
I think Coach Bullock put this all together. Let me tell a quick story. Coach Bullock blew me up on our coaching website a couple weeks ago, needed some game tape. And I said, all right, Coach, I'll give you the game tape, but I've been snubbed all season on the show. I said, I'm red hot. You got to get me on. And then just a couple days, you got a hold of me. So I think I got to give a shout out to Coach Bullock there and the crew. I feel that he's a big reason I'm here today, but I'm always repping Pennsville basketball and ready to roll.
That's exactly what happened, Coach. You sent me that. I sent as soon as I read your message, I got a chuckle out of it. I sent them the screenshot of it, and we got things rolling.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, well, that's good for us and the public because I am. If I was any hotter, I would just incinerate in front of everybody.
Oh man! So what do we get started with, Joe? What's your thoughts on? I know you're a basketball guy. What's your thoughts on the Sixers trade for James Harden and the whole Ben Simmons saga kind of finally coming to an end?
Well, as a coach, you want the saga to end. You don't want your players answering questions about it every day. You don't want it overshadowing what's been a great season. So basically, we got James Harden for a guy who hasn't even been playing for us. So it's a great trade for the Sixers. Now we can refocus. Doc is going to have to learn how to use both of them. And I imagine that's what we're going to use the second half of the season here to do. Now, as I was looking at the standings, right now, if the playoffs were to start, I think we got the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. You don't want the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. Don't sleep on those Bucks. I'll tell you that. I would like to get Cleveland in the first round if I could. Looking at all those matchups, I don't believe in the Cavs. The Sixers turned them back last night. But I got to say, as a fan and not a coach, it's a very intriguing trade. I don't see it lasting too long. Jimmy Harden has never been a guy that grows on people. So with the option for next year at $47.5 million, I think this is a win now or win next year trade. So hopefully it's win now. Let's go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, do you think that the Sixers set up as they are now need to make any more moves, or what else could they need to do?
They're going to have to wait for the buyout market to get a big man. We need a backup center, no doubt. But when that falls into place, I think they got the chance to make a run. We're really leaning on Maxey to stay at the level he's at. And now you're calling on guys like Furkan Korkmaz, Shake Milton to carry your bench when they have to bring the second unit in. You got to replace Steph Curry shooting, and I imagine that's what they're counting on Milton and Korkmaz to do. But, hey, in the realm of sports, we'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's get to the big game today, the Super Bowl. We got the Rams and the Bengals. Well, first of all, what's your initial thoughts? And I know you have a lot of insider information for those listening.
Is it the lead pipe Joe picks or lead pipe picks or something like that?
Mr. Bryce, I got to say this. I have never felt better about today's pick than any pick I've ever made in my life.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Let's go.
Well, let's save that for the dessert. Let's get around to some other ways you can make some money here today. All right. Let's if you give the crowd the pick right away, we might lose our we gotta in the TV business we gotta build up the drama.
That's true.
Build up the drama. I'm gonna give you some I want everybody to get out a pen and pencil right now and a piece of paper. I've got 4. Now, what amazes me is how quickly they embrace gambling, and that now Drew Brees is telling me to live my bet life. The Mannings are all Caesars. How quickly we went from betting is taboo to, hey, everybody, here's our same game parlay of the day. But, you got to adapt or you're dead. So here are Coach Joe's 4 same game parlay lead pipe locks, followed by your Super Bowl winner and cover spreader. And they might be different today. All right, here we go. Joe Burrow, Joe Namath incarnate, will absolutely throw for over 276.5 yards today. So if you like Joe Burrow, we're going over his yards for the day. I do realize that this is a very tough defense he has to look at today. So I think Cincinnati will counter that by quick 3-step drops and getting the ball out quickly. Kind of a West Coast offense philosophy with all the weapons he has. So I like T. Higgins today, going over 68.5 receiving yards. I love Tyler Boyd, going over 42.5 yards. And Joe Mixon swinging out of the backfield. Write this down. Joe Mixon over 24.5 receiving yards. I don't like Joe Mixon running the ball today. I really think this is going to be a battle of the Rams' defensive line versus the Bengals' offensive line. But I can't count out any team that's beaten the Chiefs in Kansas City. To me, the Chiefs were the strongest remaining team left in the playoffs. the Bengals got down 18 points in Kansas City and came back to win the game, look out. That to me says Cincinnati will be taken seriously today. Cincinnati will cover the 4.5 points, but will the Rams kick a game-winning field goal? I don't know, but I know that my 4.5 points will cover anything like that. So I'm running with the Bengals today plus 4.5. If you get 4, take it. It's going to be the Bengals in a very exciting Super Bowl. But
I think, yeah.
Go ahead, Coach.
You root for the Bengals?
I'm going Cincinnati.
Yeah, me too.
Sure.
I'm going Cincinnati. They never won nothing.
No.
It's time. I think it's time.
But here's what nobody's talking about. The halftime show. Let's get it on. Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem. Now, this is my type of halftime show. I'm ready. I'm looking forward to the halftime. The first half will be boring, slow. I like a lot of unders in the first half, under in the first quarter, under for the first half total. I really think the teams are going to dance and get to know each other early on. But then the halftime show, boom. That'll set everything in motion for the second half. I am really excited to see Dre and Snoop and Eminem together on the halftime Super Bowl stage.
Wow, I didn't even know that that's what they were doing.
Well, isn't that a shock? I did and you didn't. Come on.
I thought I did know that. I think I did hear that Mary J. Blige is going to be performing. Is she performing?
She's part of it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, she's part of it too. But come on, are we? We're not really watching it to get crunkulated, are we? We're watching it for Dre and Snoop to get it on.
I don't know. There might be wardrobe malfunction, so I don't know. So but I get it though. I do like Dr. Dre, do like Eminem, so I look forward to that. I look forward to also the commercials though, Joe. The commercials. This is when they be having like is the Bud Bowl and that's still a thing, because that's not over no more. Somebody won.
I think somebody.
I think that's been decided 24 years ago, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that.
There aren't as many beer commercials in general as there used to be.
No, they're too busy pushing legalized gambling at us now. Come on, we got time for that. Right. We don't have time for that vice. Now it's the new vice. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. This might be like the first time you see legalized other things roasted on the Super Bowl.
Maybe that's why some people are excited for the halftime show. I don't know. I don't make any judgments.
So, I mean, you mentioned about Joe Burrow and Stafford, and it's one of those Super Bowls that like it's hard. That like neither team. Like I like Stafford. Stafford put his time in Detroit. I thought it was really cool that like even in Detroit they have the Detroit Rams T-shirts out. Rooting for Stafford, how much they supported him. It's you got both quarterbacks, and that just brings so much to the game. It's a pretty awesome, narrative, as you were saying.
Well, I can really identify with Matt Stafford. Here's a guy that stuck around on a team that was struggling his whole career. My basketball team also, we struggle at times. So eventually when I get my comeuppance and start to get successful, I'll be able to identify with Matt Stafford, who has struggled but been a great team guy. If he wins, we're happy for him. If Joe Burrow wins, he's the flashy new thing. We're all happy for him. So it's just going to be a Super Bowl of happiness today, especially when I won't mention the website I use, but when my same game parlay kicks in, that'll be a nice coaching check for the coach here, CoachJoe.com.
I mean, Coach, listen, I have them all written down right here, and that's going to be in my parlay today. Absolutely.
Well, then I'll see you at the window, Randy. I'll go tomorrow. I don't want everybody rushing the window tonight after the game. I'll stroll in tomorrow.
Sounds good. Just want to go over it again. You said Burrow over 276.5 yards.
Absolutely.
You got Higgins over 68.5.
Thank you.
Boyd over 42.
That's right.
You got Mixon 24.5 receiving yards.
That's right.
And one of the other ones you said was the under in the first half.
Oh, under first half, under first quarter. Throw the Bengals in +4. You might get $20 there, win you a nice $600 pot. We could all use $600 just for tuning into the show today. I think that's the least we can do after having a great guest with Albert and then having me on. It's a great day to be on the Let's Get It Sports Show podcast.
We appreciate that. Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. Sir. I actually, when we're done here, I'm actually going to throw that clip out there with the picks so that anyone that's looking to make some picks before the game starts, so they can put that parlay in. Absolutely.
Please do. You don't know what a kick I get when I go to the different gyms in South Jersey. They say, "Hey, aren't you Coach Joe, the lead pipe lock from the Let's Get It Sports Show?" And I say, "Yes, I am. I've got 2 jobs. I'm a South Jersey basketball coach and prognosticator of great fortunes. And today will be a great day for all of us."
No, absolutely, Joe. So, I mean, I know you talked about, in general, just your coaching and whatnot. And you said, how's your team doing this year?
We're the best 2-16 team in Group 1 basketball. And if anybody wants to challenge that, we'll take on all comers. Let's go.
No, absolutely. Listen, Coach, what do you got for Lead Pipe Joe before we?
This is pure entertainment. This is great. So
we had Coach. I've got Coach Damian Ware in Pensgrove coming down to the Pennsville Memorial High School Tuesday. If you can throw that into a parlay, Jason Bryce knows huge upset coming Tuesday. Pennsville over Pensgrove. You heard it here first.
Jay just had to step out real quick. Some technical issues, but
Coach, what? With your season and how everything's going so far, how do you, and I don't, please take this in a positive way. How do you keep your guys motivated and ready for that next game? Like, what do you do? I mean, you're such a energetic guy. Does that rub off on your team?
Well, thanks for asking. After my coaching career, when I get into my personal motivation segment of my life, I just sell hope every day, Coach. I just say, hey, tomorrow's game is not predicated on yesterday, okay? Sure. We come to the gym every day with newfound hope. What's our objective this week? Hey, we got 2 wins. Well, we got to get to 3 wins. Who's in our way? Pensgrove. Let's get them. When we enter the Tri-County Tournament C-Cup Division bracket this week, now we got something to play for. So what else do we have to do than play our best basketball right now, play for each other? And I tell my seniors, look, in 3 more weeks, nobody's going to care about you playing rec basketball. So you better get it in now and play your heart out, not for only yourself, but for the name on the front. That's what we do, Coach. We sell hope, and we keep everything positive. We coach up. How can we fix what went wrong yesterday so it's not predicated on tomorrow's success?
Love that.
And if I can
actually, I mean, that really is, Coach, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I can add to that, I just admire. I could tell that the kids, they kind of like, your spirit rubs off on them. So, because I'm sure that losing sometimes can be a little defeating, but the fact that you're, what I'm saying, I understand what you say, selling hope. I just think that you're just empowering them just to understand perseverance, you're building resiliency. It's so many different things that you're building just by utilizing your voice and standing there right in the gap with them. Mm-hmm. So just, kudos to you, kudos to you and kudos to that program as well.
It's funny you said that, Coach. I had a buddy of mine I used to work with, and he always used to say to him, he's like, "I'm a hope dealer." Now, God bless him, he always preaches recovery and whatnot, and he says, "Now I'm a hope dealer. I've been a hope dealer for 20 years, and it's the best job I ever had."
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to my buddy Damian Barnes.
Got you.
Yeah, well, hopefully one day our preparation will meet our talent. Through the summer. It's an ongoing. See, sometimes people get tricked into thinking basketball is November to March. Locally here in town, we're a baseball school, as people pretty much know us by reputation. But when we get together, let's do what can we do? How can we get better? And, we say, hey, on to the next game. We got to turn the page. We lost a tough one yesterday to Woodstown. We've been in almost every game this week. And that's why we're built the best 2-16 team in Group 1. We'll take on anybody. We want the challenge. We might not want Bishop Eustace, we'll take anybody comparable, okay?
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're talking to you, Salem County Votech. That's right. We want you.
Listen, you talked about the Tri-County tournament. That's a separate tournament outside the NJSIAA playoffs. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was born out of last year's the COVID pandemic. What they do is they group us into 3 groups. The top 8 playing the A Cup, which ultimately we'd want to be in. The next 8 are in the B Cup, which we'd ultimately want to be in. And then let's say the like talented teams are down in the C Cup. trying to get wins. We're going to be playing teams we can absolutely beat this week. Now, I got to tell you, every time we lose, I'm shocked. I never coach a game preparing to lose. I always enter the game thinking first of all, I think we're the best coach team in the area. So I always approach every game as if this is going to be the day that we win. And every time we lose, I'm always shocked. I'm like, how did that happen? But that Tri-County tournament is a fun way for us to sort out, who's where and pick up some wins at the end of the season. Because like you said, when you're 2-16 and you have a heavy dominated baseball playing team, I'm sure with the 60-degree weather this week, my boys were looking to that diamond, and it's sometimes hard to keep focused on the hardwood with 2 weeks to go. But we're going to do our best, and next time I'm on the show, hopefully we're talking about better days for sure.
Absolutely. Who do you draw? Who do you play?
Oh, we go to the Cumberland Colts on Wednesday.
Oh, okay, you go to see a Cumberland Regional. Okay.
Yeah, we'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
I'm a baseball guy, Coach. So I'm excited about that. I coach down at Camden High, so we might have to connect maybe about trying to link up a little scrimmage game there for my boys between the Pennville and Camden. So we'll have to see.
I've got direct access to the athletic director. We could, if you know Coach Joe, we can make that happen.
Right. Oh, listen, I would love to. I'd love to. The more exposure, the better. So
absolutely.
Now,
listen, I got to get on. I think CBS is going to. I'm going on CBS here in about 5 minutes. I need to prepare for them as well. I'm glad the show as I love being on. Listen, I like being on the phone. I love being on camera. I got to tell you.
It's funny, Coach. Like I said, and that's been the progression of the show. When you first joined us, we only had audio callers. So now it's awesome to have you on the stream like this.
Well, I was panicking. I couldn't get on my phone. I was like, this is my big opportunity. And then the laptop provided me everything I need. I'm glad Albert had a lot to say because I was scrambling at 12:40. I said, I blew my shot.
It's all good.
Oh, no. Hey, listen, Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Definitely going to have you on again and appreciate all your picks. Hopefully we're all a little happier at the end of the Super Bowl today.
Stay healthy, boys, and I'll see you at the window. Have a great show.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach.
Take care, guys.
And let's give it up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a coach.
That was his statement that always used to crack me up. He needs to license that.
Which one?
My name is Coach Joe. I'll see you at the window.
I like. We'll get you a seat, but you'll only need the edge.
I like right. He's
know,
got some sayings, man.
Listen, I'm going to be for anyone. I'm going to be posting all his picks today in that little window, so that if whoever wants to kind of cash in, we shall see.
I do apologize. I had to step through the camera, man. My battery was going bad, so I do apologize on that.
Listen, this is it's all in the flow. It's all in the flow.
Yeah. It's all good though. We're doing all right.
Yeah, I know you're doing all right.
But
I know now that I asked you before.
Oh, you did ask me.
But I didn't start it off. I mean, like I said, today was a really awesome Super Bowl show.
It was.
Just having Albert Young again, who joined us. If you guys will go back and check that out, and then Lead Pipe Joe joined us with all his picks. But you know what? I mean, just with you guys, we didn't really get a chance to get our opinions on the Big Sixers trade. I know that we got, Coach Joe's opinion, and we kind of threw it out there. But what are your guys' thoughts on the trade, Coach?
Me and Jay have already gone at it a little bit earlier today. But I don't see how, if you're a Sixers fan, you can take anything negative from this trade.
Oh, we got some breaking news too. Breaking news.
Do the breaking news.
I know you'll love to hear this, Jay.
Well, let me just say this first. Before you say that, I was horrible. I felt horrible when they first made the deal. Okay. My second thing, I said, okay. Man, you gave up a lot. You should do 1-to-1. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, you just love James. Like, damn, Daryl Martin. It's like a bromance you got with him. Then I was like, you know what? I was doing some further reading. I'm listening, pondering. I'm like, it's Seth that hurts. If it was just Andre, But Seth hurts because I like Seth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
He's like the second coming of JJ a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of people were tweeting out that JJ he needs to come out of
yeah,
retirement.
but he's not.
JJ's
He's not. Right? So, but then I read something last night or maybe the night before. I talked about you could do some things on the buyout market.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm seeing some of the names. So now, has there been a buyout market release?
No, it's not basketball related, but I know you want to hear it. So,
Okay, so let's hear
according to Chris Mortensen, the ESPN reporter,
Okay.
Oh man, I already know where this is going.
yeah, the Colts apparently, if they can't find a trade partner, are going to cut Carson Wentz to save the roster money.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Well, we just need to know how you feel.
that's about it. Doesn't impact me. Doesn't impact me.
No. I'm just saying. I mean, how do you feel? And maybe check on your buddies.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to hear the responses. But I want to say, go back to the Sixers.
Wow. Wow.
But
See, that's what I'm saying. But see that, yeah. Oh my God, they're gonna cut him.
that's what it says. That's what it says.
Wow.
So, my sources.
I actually think, and now see, I go back and forth. You know what? I'm being biased. I don't like James Harden. I'm not a James Harden fan. So that's why I'm not like overly.
Do you not like him, or are you just like whatever about him?
Well, I don't mean, of course, I don't know him, right?
No, I don't mean
but
like that.
but-
Like there are certain players in the league that are like, I have no opinion on. Like he's whatever. Like whatever. Or you're like, I don't like him.
I just don't know. I don't know if I like what he like. I don't know. I just like he's nasty. Don't get it twisted. That stuff he used to do in Houston was phenomenal. But he had Mike D'Antoni. He knew all the stuff that he was doing in Houston. They were never going to win. And he was comfortable with that. And then in the playoffs, he was always a no-show. When the big game mattered, him and Paul George are neck and neck.
Now, Paul George, we know.
But I actually think Harden's worse than Paul
Paul George stepped up last year.
Right. Harden's worse. Harden probably might be the superstar that if it's a big game, I know he's like, it's almost like how I felt about Carson. You know what I'm saying? Big game, not going to make it happen. Not going to make it happen.
It's just, you brought up the coaches. And that was one of the things, with that, my thought was, okay, we got James Harden, we got Joel Embiid. And it was interesting. I was hearing like, that's the first time we've had two major superstars in a while to see how it works. I mean, get brought up before when the Sixers tried to bring in Chris Webber and he was supposed to be the superstar to go with AI. Mm-hmm. So this is like the biggest duo that we've had on the Sixers in a long time. As far as, pairing two superstars together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Would you say that Glenn Big Dog Robinson was a superstar at that time?
Not on this level.
No, on that level.
No, not this level. Yeah. But the other thing too is that my thought is still, okay, but we still have Doc. And Doc's going to have to make those adjustments that we've still seen him struggle with.
Well, I've seen James struggle since D'Antoni. See, people haven't. I mean, think about it. I mean, since D'Antoni, he hasn't been able to bounce like he really wants to. Like, it's not.
Wait.
I've seen him struggle.
Wait. Last year, he was in the MVP race until he got hurt.
What, James Harden?
Yes. He was in the MVP race until he got hurt. This year, he's averaging 23.
Yeah.
8 and 10. Like, what are we talking about?
James Harden was in that MVP race?
Yes.
Yeah.
But wait. What? So did the Rockets send him home? Did he get sent home for like a long time or no?
He missed like 5 games.
5 games. He got traded to the Nets.
Yeah.
And he was balling. He was balling.
Because I mean, people were getting hurt.
Then he got
hurt. LeBron got hurt. It was like, who else? It's Joker or who? Like who? And he was one of those names.
He was in the mix.
Yes. Like and that's fine. I get it. I get it. Like, and we talk about it. I'm not a fan of like the way he played in Houston. Like I would never
ahead of LeBron James.
Say again?
Finished ahead of LeBron James in the MVP voting last year.
I wouldn't have signed up for the way he plays in Houston. But I think he's shown that he can adapt to play with other players when he wants to play.
So he's going to be the point guard. He's the point guard now. or is it still Maxey?
What does that mean?
Well, the one that's creating shots for others. I mean, he's going to create shots for others regardless. Then,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because I mean, he didn't really create shots. I mean, I guess he did because he did help Clint Capella, right? I mean,
he created a shot every
everywhere
in
he goes.
Houston. In Houston, everybody that scored was because of him.
Right, but
I don't like that
right,
because then I think you're too dependent.
But I don't know any else. I mean, he has to play that way for him too. I mean, that's why he doesn't want to be.
He's not playing that in Brooklyn.
Well, no, listen. I mean, I don't even know how he was really in the MVP race last year.
Well,
I promise you, he only. What did he play? 20 games, 25 games. I mean, how many games did he play?
Last year?
Oh yeah, how many games did he play?
Oh, you guys banter. I'll look that up.
No, I don't really know. I mean, I don't really.
See, I just think this is insane to me.
He played that many games last year. I know he had some moments though, because he was dropping dimes when he first got. He was doing his thing, but I didn't know that he was that productive like over a long span.
He played 44 games
He played
last year.
44. Okay, I did 72. Okay, right. So that's. I mean, I guess that's. Listen. Here's the thing, like I told you earlier.
And he still averaged monster numbers
Yeah,
and
he did.
36 minutes a game.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If it works out, I'm happy. I'm happy because that's my squad. And I ultimately want my squad to be better. I just think that you got to pay him his bread now, but you haven't done any money match. Then next year, what Albert said, or somebody said, he's really just for the rest of this year and next year. You're not signing him for $60 million.
Unless you win, then you sign him because you have to.
Okay.
But I think that's why I think it was so important to get him now instead of in free agency.
Well, wait a minute. What you just said. So if the Sixers win the title this year or next year, you believe you have to sign him,
Yeah,
extend him out?
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you believed it with Carson. Shit.
Well, no. What I'm saying is you got him for next year. That was a good point, Jay. I'm not ignoring that. That was a very good point. I'm not ignoring that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because I mean, because you got him for next year. But I guess if they do win a title this year, he's going to be that guy extending.
To my understanding, that he did not sign that qualifying offer.
No, he's next year. He's there. He's here for next
my
year.
understanding, I heard that's not true. That's false.
I don't know if he took his option or whatever. I have no idea. But that's even more. I think it's important that they got him here this year so that they can see how it works. So now they know, okay, what do we have to do this offseason to make it work for the next year?
Right.
Instead of going in blindly next year and just hoping that it works out.
I just think the thing about this trade too, though, is it extends the current roster so much. What I'm excited to see, because you're now moving a guy like Tobias into the fourth option, maybe third option, depending. Some people think that Maxey would be ahead of him, but you're now pushing that down, and the success I think from a guy like Harris is going to be improved big time, and I think you're going to see a lot more.
He averaged 24, 11, and 8 last year.
And I'm going to tell you one thing.
Those are great numbers.
I'm going to tell you, Jay,
I can't.
You're going to enjoy this. My one buddy said, I want no part of Carson ever take another snap for this city. He's a loser.
For what city?
For Philadelphia.
Who said that?
My one buddy Lee.
Is that the one that he never liked Carson?
No, he did.
Oh, he
did.
switched.
Going back to that. Just going back to
It's
that.
easy to say that when that's not an option.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
never want anybody to give me $1 million. Just don't do it. Like nobody's gonna do it anyway.
No, I know. Go ahead. No, but
It's easy to say that.
I know. I was jumping topics.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm struggling with
Here,
this.
let me ask you this question: what would you rather them have done?
Jaylen Brown.
That's not an option.
I don't think that does anything for anybody.
Oh, we would have won the title.
I disagree with that. I just don't think it was. I think
we would have won a title.
No,
with
but what
that.
I'm saying, I don't think that the fan base. I mean, they would have been excited, but
It
I
would have
think
been
that,
straight up though.
but I-
Simmons for Brown, like you wouldn't
I
have to.
disagree.
I think you would have had to give him more
I think you would have to give him more to get Jaylen Brown
because he's young.
younger and he's under contract longer. You'd have to give up more.
But I don't think that I'm saying
to make the money match.
Well, no, because there's no incentive. Like, just like Brooklyn had to get rid of him too.
Oh.
Boston had no reason to get rid of him.
Right. Okay. So that's fair. That's fair. I don't listen. I want it to work. I promise.
Of course.
Right. So it's not like, when I'm watching, and I'm not trying to bring up, I'm just trying to use it as a reference. When I'm watching Carson,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, I want them to lose.
You want
I
them to
can't
mess
wait
up.
that
Yep.
shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, James Harden's playing. Yo, I'm rooting. I'm there.
Oh, I can't wait for
That's-
Tuesday.
I'm rooting because
I hope he's playing.
because that's my team.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Is this really was the best option, or is this a love affair that this dude has with James
I
Harden?
know, Daryl Morey.
Because I just feel like I would have even taken CJ. And I know we had that discussion, but I like CJ because you just need more weapons.
But that doesn't
You need more of a weapon.
that doesn't push the barometer, I think, for
I
Sixers
think
fans.
it does, though. I think with CJ, and B, you still, you know what I mean, you still got Tobias, you still got Curry. So, you know, I actually think, to be honest with you, I think Brooklyn's better now
Of course they are.
Yeah.
without Harden.
I mean,
course.
Simmons is
Because of what they plugged in.
right.
So
Not just minus Harden, because if they just traded Harden for nothing, they're not better. They're better because of what they plugged
right,
in.
because so that's where I think that we needed a two, or we needed another scorer. So if you had another scorer, you know what I'm saying, I can get busy. I think that you would have been there. You'd have been there. You know what? It's like and maybe that model is not there no more, but it's like the Mavericks. The Mavericks, nobody thought the Mavericks would win. I didn't even think they would win.
Dirk?
With Dirk. You know what I'm saying? But it went down 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. Did they go down 2-0? They might have went down 0-1. But anyway, they had a great team surrounded by Dirk. They had nice ancillary pieces to, you know what I'm saying? So I just think the right pieces would have got it done. Does Milwaukee have two superstars? No, they have one.
Well,
But they got one.
They have
But they got
3 All-Stars.
Yeah, they got stars.
okay. CJ McCullough's an all-star.
CJ McCollum's never been an All-Star.
Well, he's got an argument like Tobias.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so you're pretty much
like Chris Middleton is a bona fide all-star.
right. So he's like, what's Middleton averaging 25, something like that, 25, whatever. CJ's like 24, 23. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you're right there on the cusp. I just think that, and you still would have been able to, because now you got other problems now, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you're not replacing that shooting with Shake and Korkmaz.
That was laughable what Coach Joe said about that.
That's not happening.
I agree. But here's what I think. And this is what I said to you earlier, when you add Harden, that two position, the shooting guard position, is now full. So what minutes is Seth Curry going to play?
That's a great point.
So even if
But
you
it would have
say,
been off the bench because Danny Green's not reliable.
No,
he's shown, but you need to rely on him now.
well, you have to rely on him anyway. Because him and Matisse are going to split. They're now that 3 spot.
Yeah.
Okay, which Danny Green's undersized for
For sure.
right? But Matisse is okay for.
But like who? So even if you say, okay, when I'll put Seth in when Maxey comes out and Harden will run the point, but then when Harden's out, Seth can stay in. That's still in the playoffs. That's not going to be enough minutes for him. Like that's not, and that's why I think the relationship he has with Doc had something to do with that.
Right, to set him up for a situation. Right.
Yeah.
For success.
Because Seth goes into starting. If he's not starting, then he's the new Joe Harris.
He's got such a great spot. I mean, he's like, to him, he's like, I love this spot. I'm just going to sit here and post up and hit
I miss
threes.
Seth, man.
So no, I would listen. I wish he was here too, but I don't think there's a spot for him on this team right now as a starter. I just don't see it.
Yeah. I like the starting lineup.
I think we should have tried to get like Patty Mills back or something like that.
Yes.
Because now that's really helping your bench.
Yeah.
That's a bench player who's happy with that
I
role.
think you're gonna see a buyout move, big time. You know, as far as
there has to be.
well, I would like to see him because they talk about the backup big man. What's his name? Ernest Canner. He's going to be probably on a buyout market. Not a bad guy.
No.
So someone's going to pop up on the buyout market that the Sixers can get.
I still think you might need you got James Harden, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's incredible.
Going back to what you said about Daryl Morey, and I was talking about Sixers fans not being happy. What I meant was like with the meter. Like we got James Harden, the meter went boom, where everyone is, hyped. You get a Jaylen Brown, the meter moves, but it's not the name that gets all the fans, up off their seats. Now, once he plays and they realize how good he is, but also like when you brought Daryl Morey here, you are going to manipulate this roster to get stars.
Well, I think Daryl Morey got the job here saying I'm going to get James Harden.
Yeah.
I think that's how.
Well,
because
apparently,
there was no reason to bring. He just took Elton Brand's job.
Yeah, well, yeah, I read some of the timelines. They had like some backstory timelines, and really, Elton Brand was asked, how do you feel about it? I think he was supposed to come in the year prior, but he said, "Nah, I'm gonna stay with Houston." But them two are tied at the hip. So when Daryl Morey left, that's when you heard from James, like, "Yo, I gotta get out of here." Right. So he knows how to make James feel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He wants to feel like the man, the star. One of the problems they had in Brooklyn, from what I hear, is that they wanted to play more team basketball, and he needed the ball in his hands. And then the whole thing with Kyrie, I think, I read that
him
story.
And Kyrie weren't on the
same page. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think it had to probably do with the ball, though, right? Or what?
I think from what I've read, it was him very upset that Kyrie's only playing half the time, and everybody's just okay with that. And he didn't understand that. We're losing games, we're struggling. This guy's just not playing.
Yeah, he's just, yeah. I mean, I'd have felt some type of way too, though.
I definitely have a problem with that too. Yes.
Yeah, I'd have felt some type of way too, because that I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, what? Like, why? Come on, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But
and I don't know. Like, this is definitely going to work. Like, some guys are saying, oh, this is the next coming of Kobe and Shaq. Like, I'm not with all that.
No,
like, I don't see that. But I think this is the best trade. This is the best player we could have gotten back in any trade that was realistically going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, my thing is, if it's go time, let's go. But I just get nervous when you're talking about putting that kind of money into an Asian superstar.
Right. Because he's going to be aging, and that big money is going to be when he's 36, 37 years old.
Well, I'm talking about right now at 32.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And then hamstrings are always tricky things, man. You know what I'm saying? He was limited. I mean, did he play? He did play in the playoffs, though. But he
got hurt in the playoffs.
Right.
He came back. Well, he tried to come back in the playoffs.
He tried
to come back when they were down, and
it was a shell.
He should have been playing.
Right.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Now, do you think Ben Simmons plays?
Nope.
I was going to say the answer before I even finished that question.
I don't even know what your question is. No.
Nope.
When he comes to Philly?
Right. That first time around.
No. I don't think Ben Simmons will play with Brooklyn until KD's back. Period.
That's interesting.
Because I don't think there's no way he's going to go out on the court by himself
and have to be a focal
There's
point.
No way he steps on the court. They're losing all these games. They're the 8th seed right now.
Yeah. Well, did you even hear with Steve Nash already? Like, kind of threw him under the bus before he even stepped on the court.
He threw him under the bus, or he was just kind of was like, "Yo, we don't need him to shoot."
Well,
he does so many
what did you hear?
Same thing that Doc did. You know what I'm saying? Pacify him. But something tells me that Ben comes out shooting J's and 3-pointers.
I agree. I think he will too. I don't think he'll be successful, but I think he will.
On another level, just to kind of talk about this. This just proves so much that all what he was talking about is BS.
I disagree.
Well, okay, you're allowed to. You're allowed to.
I mean, disagree.
If he jumps on with the team and he starts playing in their road trip now,
he won't do that.
I'm saying, but if he does, I think.
So you're back to the mental health.
Yes.
Now,
and I'm just saying, because it's such a strong,
mental health,
right? But I'm saying it's such a strong platform that is out there right now, that if you weren't really suffering and you were using this as a ploy, shame on you, Ben Simmons.
But I can't see that he's using it as a ploy, bro. When you are a basketball player and you're scared to shoot the ball, that is mental health.
Okay,
it's a mental health problem.
I'm saying is, when
you getting paid $40 million. And you say, I'm not coming back because you gave me a critique. I'm not coming back.
It's funny. I never heard him talk, but you're right.
No, you didn't defend me. Oh, I wanted you to come out, but I told you don't come, but you still should have came out. You know what I'm saying? You come to practice, you got your cell phone in your pocket, you're barely half-ass moving in slides or whatever, defensive zone, whatever. That's mental health, bro.
All right, Coach.
When you think it's all about
Right, but
it's mental health. Son.
all right. I mean,
It's self-centered.
okay.
Baby.
But if he comes out and all of a sudden it's okay because I'm in a different place.
It'll be okay for a little bit. The same. It'll always be.
So I guess my issue with it is you can't say I can't play right now because of my mental health and then go play the next day after you're traded.
Well, here's the thing. What's igniting? He's
But
saying
that's not mental health.
Actually, it is. He's saying that his mental health is at a all-time low when he's in Philadelphia playing for this team. Now, anybody that's in the mental health profession will tell you, well, then we need to set some appropriate boundaries.
You're an athlete.
Right. But you know what I'm saying is right.
No, I get it. But what
You have to set appropriate boundaries.
But-
Then if that's what's triggering you, we have to set some boundaries.
But like Coach just said, if he goes out and as soon as this trade happened, he's on social media. Let's go. I'm going to be out there joining the team, doing whatever. That mental health just poof.
So him not shooting the ball is because he's playing for the Sixers.
It's what happened. It's triggering him.
What happened? He didn't show up to the big games and we got on him and he can't handle the pressure?
No. I get all that.
Okay.
But again, remember, we can't, when we're talking about mental health, we have to step outside our view.
Right. So what's triggering? Okay. So he didn't. But his mental health had to be gone. Had to be in during the playoffs. That had to be a problem.
Oh, no. Oftentimes, Coach Marcus, is that with and Randall, is with mental health, it takes time before it becomes, it comes to its tipping point. It starts to shed light. So he's been going through this way before. And Coach Albert actually spoke on it, that if you had watched his LSU stuff, it was already there.
Okay. Which I get all that.
Yeah.
So him changing scenery in his mind
Yes.
takes care of the mental health.
There you go. In his mind.
But in reality, okay. I mean, I can get with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I can get with
All
that.
right.
And it's you know what it is? It's like it's like relationships. You know what I'm saying? People, no, you know what I'm saying? Again, Ben will never be more than what he is.
Do you think Ben Simmons truly believes he has mental health issues?
I believe that he knows that something is. I believe in his heart of hearts. Let me not say this. I'm not going to say that if he believes, I know the people around him believe.
No. Do you think Ben Simmons truly believes that he has mental health issues, or
No, I believe that Ben Simmons thinks that a lot of the shit that he does is the right thing, which is
so for them to come out and say he has mental health issues, he had to sign off on that?
well. I'm sure that what I'm saying. He has people around him that's encouraged.
See, this is
No.
politician.
No,
over here.
he's doing a great job.
No, I'm
He's
just saying.
he's doing a great job.
I'm just saying. I'm sure he
bringing
has.
back the-
I'm sure he has people around him that's trying to encourage him. That bro, you got a problem. You got a problem.
Jack
Let's-
Nicholson
this is
can't
what we
handle
have
the
to say.
So when this came out that he had mental health issues, and whatever the dude, just his agent's name, whatever it is, said that he had to. He didn't say that on his own. Ben Simmons was okay with him saying that.
Right.
I think there was a battle, but yeah, I think that.
So eventually Ben Simmons had to say, okay, yeah, let's say that. Right?
Yeah.
Do you think Ben Simmons said that, okayed it because he believed it, or okayed it because this is what's going to get me possibly to get my money and to get people to lay off for a second?
I think it's a little of both. But no, but
Listen,
but decisions.
What is it, Bryce 2020?
Yeah,
What is it, Bryce 2020?
My friend, you remember this is the Let's Get It platform, not the Bryce 2020.
No, I'm just saying, but it can be a mixture of
I
things.
feel like
No, but it can be a mixture of things, though.
But,
You know
you
what
know,
I'm saying?
please
I-
answer the question, Mr. Bryce.
I am answering the question
Okay.
because it could be a little mixture. Of things.
Well, it could be. But what do you think
What? That it could be a mixture or what?
Oh, well, listen. I mean, like I said, you know, let me one more question before we kind of get into the wrap up of the show. And this is kind of just a quick response. Who finishes better this year, the Nets or the Sixers?
I'm concerned.
What do you mean in the standings or like throughout the playoffs?
Well, I mean, okay, let's correct because it's not matchups is going to matter. If the Sixers and the Nets meet in the playoffs, who do you like in that series? Not aside from your own heart.
I'll say this: Brooklyn has the better team.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have the better team, but I of course, you know, I'm right. I'm rooting for my Sixers.
Well, yeah, you got to take the heart out of it.
It reminds me of when Detroit was tough, but when they made that deadline deal and got Rasheed Wallace, you just knew that's a problem. They're gonna have a problem. And then I think they made a free agent signing, or the Knicks had cut loose. McDyess on that?
They did get
McDyess was on that championship team. I think the Knicks cut him loose and bought him out, and you just knew. And I just feel like I just want to see that. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for those ancillary pieces. Those pieces is what I'm hoping for. And then I can say that the Sixers can be the better team. I think the Sixers have a great starting lineup, though. For whatever reason, when I was talking and going through my gripes about Harden, I totally forgot about Matisse. Matisse is a world-renowned defender.
I think he's going to make Tobias better. Not Matisse, Harden.
Oh, yes.
I think he's going to get him just easier shots.
Just shots, but he doesn't have to create.
Right.
But Matisse defensively, he has to start.
Yeah,
I think it's Harden, and I don't even think it's Maxey running the ball like that. I think it's Harden.
But I think Maxey can't
or he could bring it up and then.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Maxey's gonna go. Maxey's gonna push,
right?
And then like when it's late, like where we need a basket,
then you're gonna go
give him the ball.
Give him the ball.
Yeah, and I think Maxey will benefit from Harden because if he want Harden's sees the floor very well.
He does. The ball, So I just hope that. And actually, does this put Joel, does it put him back on the block?
Hopefully.
Right? Because he doesn't need to be out there at all.
I mean, he can do his little mid-post stuff and all that. We don't need him outside. He can take his 2 threes a game.
Right. But he won't be alley-ooping like Capella.
That's not who he is.
That's not how.
That's not who he is.
Speaking of, what do you think about that? I didn't see it until this morning. What do you think about that dunk?
Oh, that was awesome.
It was
a great dunk.
It was a great dunk. I hate how he falls all the time, though.
He does.
It takes away from
him. Right?
Yeah, because you're like, oh.
My son said he threw it in.
He did throw. He didn't even touch the rim.
But it was a close throw in though.
Oh no, it was almost like worse, like because he threw it in. Like,
right. Yeah. Like sometimes people throw it in, the rim be here, they be back here.
Yeah. No, he's right there.
Right.
Because when he falls down, it's just like when you stand up, you can't flex, you can't do
nothing.
You got to stay up.
Stay up. Now, the worst dunk I've ever seen happened Friday night. The worst dunk I've ever. I can't even call it a dunk because it was a dunk attempt.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the worst that I've ever.
Poor Paul Reed.
Paul
Reed. You know what's funny? Because I actually said, with Drummond being gone, I'm like, all right, big ball, B-ball Paul, you're going to get a chance to shine.
Yeah, who calls him that?
Everybody calls him. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know
Everybody
why.
calls him Big Ball Paul.
From the G League?
Because they liked him. He's just a likable guy.
That's like his Twitter.
Yeah,
that's his handle.
Yeah. He's, and sorry,
but see, Big Ball Paul or whatever you want to call him, that's what made his ass do that. Oh my God.
It was a close game and everything. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I mean, I was
embarrassing.
You didn't even know how to react because you did feel bad for him and you wanted to laugh.
I didn't feel bad.
I didn't feel bad for him.
I was like, that's what you get. Right, so I'm getting him out right now.
That is a shame because Doc was probably like, "Hey, great game, kid. Take your shoes off."
Yeah.
Dope. Well, listen. With that said, it's been a phenomenal show.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Probably one of our top shows, which we.
I agree.
And
You were very excited
I was.
that
I
you
was
forgot to ask me how I was
You know
doing.
what? And listen, man. I didn't.
I'm just saying.
You're right. I was very excited for today. I mean, it's, like I said, the show's been growing. We've been doing a lot.
Yes.
Before we get into our final thought, we give you a final thought, obviously, and give your Super Bowl prediction for today. I think we're all rooting for the Bengals, but give us a score prediction. Coach,
You go first.
okay, you want me to go 1st? All right. I like the Bengals to win today. I'm a big, I'm again though, like we were talking about Coach Joe. I don't care if the Rams win because Matthew Stafford has put his time in and deserves it. Odell Beckham's put his time in, but I'm going to go with a 32-27 victory for the Bengals over the Rams.
What'd you say, 37-22?
32-27.
Oh, 32-27.
So,
High scoring.
oh yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring game today, and I think you're going to get a trick play offensive lineman touchdown. My prediction. I also have $1 bet on that to win $500.
I think I'm going to Bengals. I'm going 24-19.
Okay.
I think if you do see a trick play, you'll see Philly. Or flea. Would you call it flea flicker? What is it? Flea flicker?
Flea flicker, yeah.
Trick play?
Yeah.
Yes. A flea flicker or
Oh, I could see Odell throwing one because he can let it launch.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can let it
So
launch.
I got the Bengals,
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Bengals.
Coach?
I'm gonna. I'll take the Bengals.
All
You
right.
can shy away.
No, I want the Bengals to win. I just don't like. There's one thing in wanting teams to win, but then thinking they're gonna win.
Right.
So I'll go with the Bengals. So I'm gonna go 25 to 22.
That's gonna be a good one. How's it gonna end?
I have no idea. The Bengals are gonna kick a field goal to win the game.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
I do like it.
Now, let me ask you, Coach. I think I asked you guys last year. Are you guys gonna have some of your favorite Super Bowl foods?
So we were actually. My wife's been texting me just now. So I think we're gonna do, because we're not doing it. We're not going anywhere.
No.
Usually we end up going somewhere, but we just
At
whatever.
the crib.
We're gonna do Jersey Mike's
Oh,
Okay.
and Dom's Wings.
and some Chick-fil-A.
Not
No,
Chick-fil-A,
okay.
and then some. She said, in her words, "Bring home alcohol."
Right.
I like. So what will you bring her home? What is she like?
She's like a what has she been getting? Those seltzers.
Okay.
Oh, I like this.
She's been trying a bunch. They got a bunch of different ones out
It's
there.
good too.
They
I like
do.
the
Like
grape
Bud
one.
Light's got like the sour one now.
Oh.
It's good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All
There's
right.
also like a Bud Light has a soda one, so it's like
Really?
cream soda,
Ooh.
That sounds
orange,
Wow, that sounds
like
good.
and you just gotta be careful because you're drinking soda, but you're not.
Right,
drinking
but you're
soda.
not drinking soda.
Oh, it was like when they did that "Not Your Father's Root Beer."
Yes.
Yeah. But and that was interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think. What about you, Jay? You asking us? What
But
about you?
Dom's Wings, real quick. Who the hell is Dom?
It's just Dominic Tavern.
Where's
So,
that at?
It's right in
Belmar.
Belmar. It's right off of Browning Road.
Yeah, it's not far at all.
It's good.
They're good.
It's pretty good.
They're good.
They're not like gotta have them today, like not like
Okay.
that, but they're good. It's solid.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
good.
I was over my brother Steve's house last night. So him and Miss Rita, the kids wanted to come over after the game yesterday. So we went over there. We had like a pre-Super Bowl thing.
Oh,
So Steve made a bunch of wings, man. I got a whole bunch left. He said, take them all. I said,
don't have to tell me twice.
okay. And Miss Rita, she makes this famous shrimp salad. It's
Oh yeah.
yo, and she know that's it. I said, please, can you tell Miss Rita to make that shrimp salad, yo?
Yeah.
Banging. So I look forward to that. You got some Doritos and stuff like that.
Favorite flavor of Dorito. Favorite bag.
Red.
Oh,
original.
Original.
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
See, Cool Ranch. I feel like I ate it so much because it came out when we were still in school, and then it was like because you left the red. You said, man, forget the red. I want the Cool Ranch. But I'm back to the original.
I'm
It's really good.
The originals are very good.
right?
They're very good.
Now, what I hate is the spicy.
I can't.
Oh my
Nachos.
god! The purple bag is
No, actually, I like the purple. Jason, they're not bad, but I'm talking about the red spicy one.
Oh, there is a spicy nacho or something. Yeah, no, but it's like a darker red.
This dark.
Yeah,
Yeah, this like
I don't like the purple one either.
Yeah,
The
okay.
purple's not bad. The sweet chili.
I'm not a spicy person.
Okay.
I'm not a spicy person either, right? But the red bag. Though.
Okay.
So but I will say that I'll have. I think I'm gonna make some shrimp. I got some shrimp in the air fryer. I think I might do. We used to go out and go to different people's houses and go until halftime, and then bring it on home.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I've never. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I stayed at somebody's house for the whole Super Bowl.
20. Yeah.
It might have been 20. When did Baltimore win?
Oh god.
Jeez.
2012.
2012. That was the last time. Nate Monroe was at his crib,
Okay.
and I stayed over the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I'll be home. I'll be sipping.
What's your choice?
You know what? I don't like. Well, I think beer. I'm closer to 50. So the more you drink beer, the more heavier I feel and get. So I just been doing like scotch. Like I like Pinch. I got some white Hennessy. I got
Okay.
some Henny White. I got some Johnny Black. I got some Glen. I got, you know what I'm saying? I might have a little sip of that. But I will say I have drank beer, I think maybe 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
Where I went to Iron Hill.
Ah, you lied.
That's
It's your
the kids
spot.
to Iron Hill. You know what I'm saying? We just have burgers.
yeah.
They have a delicious turkey burger.
They
That's
do.
banging,
They do,
yo.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I had this something grapefruit, something beer. Yo, just one. I'm floaty. You know what I'm saying?
You always enjoyed the IPAs.
I do like that. Yeah, I do. I like the flying fish. I love IPAs.
What's the place in the Morristown Mall?
Oh, that's your spot.
Yard House.
That place has a nice selection of
Yeah.
alcohol.
And they have a great happy hour.
And so I didn't know, like, there was like the menu was too overwhelming for me. I'm not a big drinker at all, so it was
Right.
like too overwhelming. So she said, "What kind of stuff do you like?"
Right.
So I kind of ran down it, and she was like, "All right," and she brought me out like the
little sample.
sampler
Right.
with all, and I'm like, "This is dope."
That's right.
They're great.
Yeah. Now, what's the other restaurant there? There's 2 restaurants there.
Well, they got Joe Maplewood Italiano. That's pretty good.
That's named. I ain't had that shit.
All right, well, you're
What's the
missing
other
out.
one?
No,
Well, no, I'm not knocking. I'm just trying to figure out. I took Mama Rich there, and I'm trying to
On
think.
the other side of Yard House, I don't know what it is. Firebirds.
Firebird.
That's the one by
delicious.
like Five Below and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banging,
Firebirds is incredible. Yeah.
banging. So that food was delicious.
Yes.
I had something that was pretty tasty. Some Korean type something.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Absolutely.
So, but I've never been to Yard House. I like
Yard
to
House
go.
is good.
It's
I
good.
can't believe
Okay.
you've never been there. Wow.
Good.
No. I was supposed to go there with you, but we didn't want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, we went to. We were supposed to go there, and we ended up with PJs because the wait was so
PJs.
long.
Yeah.
So
But I love odds though. See, I'm an odds guy,
okay, and that's a local little spot. Yeah. And I like
and
the
it's
tavern,
local.
and I like the Tavern and Table, the little spot right in Hainsport.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
No, that's good. We'll have,
Okay.
we'll have to meet up there one day.
Okay, that's a popular spot.
Well, it's a good little local spot.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
So, all right. Well, listen. With that said, I think.
What's your favorite
I
thing?
was
What
gonna
are
say-
you cooking? Buffalo chicken dip,
No. I'm gonna do.
jalapeno poppers.
No.
Can I have 4 kids' meals?
And add the cheese, add the mac and cheese on there.
What are you getting?
I am. Actually, we're gonna go with the queso dip with the chorizo in it.
I knew it was a dip.
Yeah,
I
there's
knew it was
queso
some
dip,
type of dip.
and then the main course is going to be Italian sausage and peppers.
Okay.
So
But now, because you're a crock pot, I was
about to say the same thing.
How many crock pots do you have, or are you going to do
I have
the dip first and then clean out the crock pot?
no, like, I'm gonna have,
and then come back?
I'll have two different
I was
zones.
gonna say they gotta be rolling.
Okay.
So I have
Okay.
a small crock pot too, which is more for dips. I have the larger crock pot.
Okay.
You know, I do enjoy the crock pot.
Yeah, okay. So you have the small, the medium, and the large.
Yes, I have, I have about 4 or 5 crock pots.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, I do.
And you know they was on sale at one time.
They
too.
were. You know.
hand me down.
Right.
No. I'm very.
Who else had it?
I'm very finicky about my cooking. I mean, you know, and what I'll use.
Okay.
So, you know.
Okay.
But listen, with that said, we want to give a big shout out to Albert Young, who joined us to start the show. Albert, again, you know, he played in the NFL with the Minnesota Vikings, played at the University of Iowa. Not just about his playing career, but also big time talks about his training program, Running Back University, and just his thoughts on education and the kids' academics right now. Thanks a lot to Albert Young for joining us. Once again, for Lead Pipe Joe joining us. Once again, guys, you can catch us big time now. We're on Twitter at Let's Get It Pod, so you guys can join us on there. Instagram, we're going to be big on there too now, building that up, excuse me. And as always, on Facebook. We appreciate everyone who's been watching, everyone who's been sharing. Next week's going to be another big time show. We got Coach Joe Jones from Boston University men's basketball team is going to be joining us. So that's going to be another show you're going to want to check out. With that said, for Jason Bryce, for Marcus Bullock, I'm Randy Duckin. Once again, catch us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And thanks for watching.